was back.
Here I am.
Been on assignment.
On assignment. Yeah. It was a good time, and by all.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Beautiful wedding we went to. Felt like I was in high society.
You were overseas somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, we were went to Ireland, England, Scotland, Barcelona, and Majorca.
And where?
Majorca.
Where's that?
It's an island off of the coast of Spain. I'd have to see an overall globe to tell you whether it's the south or which side of the coast it is. But it was pretty cool. A lot of bikers on that island. And what amazed me most is that in all these countries, they have one garbage hauler. Not to bring up any subject.
No, come on.
Yeah. But I mean, it's done different than what we do, obviously.
Yeah.
But you go and you dump your trash in the trash can that's at the end of the street or where have you.
Mm-hmm.
Also in England and Scotland, they had bike paths or pedestrian paths along the side of the roads in the middle of nowhere. I'm not sure if you were walking or using them where you'd be coming from or going to because the distance were so
there is
great.
A lot of biking though.
Yeah, I mean, it was just amazing that they accommodate all of that. Now the roads are narrow, and there's a lot of, you're driving on the different side of the road.
Yeah.
So I hadn't driven in a long time because I didn't bother. I let Bill do all that.
On the other side of the road.
Right.
Are you taking calls?
Sure.
Good morning. No, they hung up.
I didn't even hear the phone ring.
Yeah.
Didn't see the light go off.
That's kind
Or do you have a new system?
I don't
That
know.
looks new, that little...
We do have a new little light.
Oh, good, good. So anyhow, it was amazing. I met an MEP, so a member of the parliament. I guess that's the equal to one of our kind. I sat next to one at the wedding. And he is second in command of the UKIP party, which would be, I think it stands for United Kingdom Independent Party. I'm not sure. Bill can clarify that. But he was very interesting, and in fact, I asked him to come and speak, and he may come to town. It's very interesting. I think the UKIP party is similar to our Tea Party.
Have him call this show. Or are they being investigated by the IRS?
Because they're conservative. He was very interesting to talk to. But we won't get into politics.
Why not?
Well, stimulate conversation here. So how's it been here?
Good.
Jackie I heard amazing things about Jackie.
Crack job.
And I watched at least 3 of the 5 shows.
Oh, did you?
Well, 2 weren't recorded, but I watched those. Because you can go to our website and watch the shows.
Phone number?
Oh, the phone number is 787-3397. So if you have any questions.
787-3397.
Yeah. So apparently someone's going to call. Someone that Jackie knows, because they called Jackie's cell phone.
Phones are always open here on the show.
Oh. Bill's going to come in by telephone, it sounds like.
Okay.
Or he's trying to remind us to say the phone number. I noticed that we also forget to mention our guest names often. I was listening to Bill George's show on Tuesday, and I don't know who he had on there because the name was never repeated, and I didn't recognize the voice.
Well, Bill wasn't here Tuesday.
Oh, well, it was his show, though.
Yeah.
Despite the fact. I guess it's County National's show.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. So who was here Tuesday?
Dave Krieger and Chad Rumsey.
Okay. And where did Chad move to County National from?
I don't know where he was.
Because that's what it sounded like they were talking about. Or maybe it was Dave Krieger.
No, Dave's been there a few years now.
Okay. Well, anyhow.
Bill, are you there?
I am.
There he is?
Yeah.
Hi, Bill.
How are you guys?
Welcome back.
Not back into the swing of things? Are you forgetting your schedule?
I completely forgot. What can I
anyway, let's talk about that lease. You know, when we were gone, in a couple of the rooms that we stayed in, there was little place cards, plastic place card things that said, if you smoke in this room, we're going to charge you $250 cleaning
Wow.
fee. And so I thought, well, can't we have that in our lease? Because we have non-smoking. We don't rent to smokers. We discriminate against the smokers in our rental properties. So Bill is adding that to our lease, right?
Yeah. You have a case back in the 70s which involved Solomon Apartments, and the inability of a landlord to claim cleaning charges at the end of a lease as damages. But what the court has held is that you can have, at the inception of the lease, a non-refundable cleaning fee. You can provide for a cleaning fee in the lease itself. It's got to be separately enumerated as a cleaning fee and not a, quote, element of damage, end quote, to the premises themselves. And on top of that, smoking does, in fact, cause additional damage in terms of the damage to the paint, the wallpaper, and sort of just what's the word I'm looking for, infusion of tobacco into those. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea to build it in. You just have to make certain that you don't treat it as damage to the security deposit.
So you can have a cleaning fee at the end of the lease, even if you don't need to clean.
You could have a non-refundable cleaning fee or a cleaning fee of a fixed amount, as long as it's agreed to in writing by the tenant, and that's what it is. What I'm saying to you is you can't, at the end of the lease, claim a cleaning fee as an element of damages under the security deposit provision. So as long as it's separately enumerated, agreed to by the tenant, you're going to be okay.
Now, what if there's damage?
Yeah, the damage is already covered under the provisions in the lease that relate to the security deposit, and the landlord has the ability to apply the security deposit damages. There are requirements under the lease that the tenant has to give notice within, I think, 4 days after vacating or forwarding address. Landlord then has, as I recall, 30 days in which to notify the tenant in writing at that address of the claimed damages, and then there's a period of time for the tenant to contest, and then a period of time for the landlord to actually institute a lawsuit to use the damages to offset, or to use the security deposit to offset the damage.
So, for example, in a current apartment that we're fixing as a result of having to evict the tenant smoked in the apartment, and there are ceiling tiles, glued ceiling tiles to the ceiling of the dining room in this particular apartment, and we are having to remove all the ceiling tiles because it reeks of cigarette smoke.
Yeah, that actually, I think, and I don't know any specific case on it, but to the extent, one, you prohibit smoking in the unit, that's a clear violation of the lease. Second, to the extent that you can't simply clean it out and fumigate it, or you've got to replace it. My opinion is, and again, I'd have to do a little bit of research, and I don't know offhand in the case, but my opinion would be that that constitutes damages subject to the security deposit, because it's not simply cleaning. You're now having to rectify the problem caused by the tenant, and you can't simply rectify by cleaning.
There you go.
Very good.
So
So anyway, I heard you talking about the MEP. Understand that Mr. Bloom, Godfrey Bloom, is not a member of Parliament in the UK. He is a member of what is known as the European Parliament, MEP, and that is the representative. He's the representative from the Yorkshire area in England to the European Parliament, which is a body comprising members of the European Union, and then you have elections for those individuals in the European Union. It meets in Brussels, and it is granted by the members of the European Union certain powers and authority over the members. It's really interesting. It's sort of like each of the members of the European Union are states, but the United States and then the European Union itself, operating out of Brussels, is sort of like Washington. But when I say that, it's kind of a bad analogy, but that's in essence what it is. There's moral autonomy within individual countries, and the European Union is
was. He's an economist.
Party, which is the European Independent Party, which is equivalent to the Tea Party here in the United States.
Right, and
But is he gonna be on this show?
well, if he said he comes to the United States, and he would be delighted to come here, and I offered to get him to speak in front of a group of people. It was very interesting, and I asked him, I don't even know if I should say this, but I'll go out on a limb.
Go for it.
I asked him what he thought of Obama, because he's an economist by trick.
Don't go there. Let's go back to real estate topics.
Oh, okay, all right.
You're very interesting, Tristan.
Hold it now. Hold it, Bill.
About the walkability of places.
Oh my God, everything.
And the bicycling, the accommodation for alternative means of transportation.
They do not encourage cars.
So it's sort of a model in some respects for where we might be headed for alternative means of transportation. But you know, we're different here too. We're an automotive-based society, and you know, it's a huge industry here. We have streets that are geared toward it. So it'll be interesting to see what goes. But it was a nice perspective. We've been to Europe before, but it just seemed more prevalent than changes that we saw this time in terms of walkability, pedestrian friendliness, bicycle friendliness. Really quite remarkable.
And speaking of biking, there is a smart commute ride tomorrow morning you meet at 7:30 at Art 634 or Ella Sharp Park Old Pool area or Nixon Pool area, and there's I believe that's right. You can go
I haven't heard
to
about the other location.
you can go to the fitnesscouncil.org and get the details. But at 8 we'll be taking off on our bike and from 634 and heading downtown, showing people where the bike paths are, where we're hoping to have a connection from Mechanic Street over to the path that's by Consumers Energy, across the Riverwalk Hotel Place property and the state parking lot. So that should be fun. And then at noon tomorrow, I'm hoping you're participating, Greg, because you're a leader in the community.
I'm on the radio at noon.
You could do a remote. You could bring a remote on a bicycle. Anyhow, at noon, we're meeting at the bus transfer station.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, well, actually, we're taking the city bus, or, the Jackson area bus,
Yeah.
and heading out to the airport to see the new statue that's been put in at the Memorial Park out there, the Aviation Park.
Okay.
Did you know there was a new statue out there?
I didn't.
Well, noon, come jump on the bus. I don't know what time the dedication is. I assume it's between noon and 1, because they promised to have us back by 1 o'clock. A couple of exciting things going on.
So Greg,
Yeah.
anything exciting happened in Jackson while we were gone?
Not a thing.
Absolutely nothing, eh?
No, it's been pretty busy, actually. But Northwest passed their millage.
I saw that.
Which was,
That's a good thing.
pretty exciting for those people.
Yeah, they worked hard to get that millage passed.
Yeah, for years.
Yeah, well, good for them. Obviously, they got a young voting group in there. And I've heard students were out door knocking,
Yeah.
canvassing for that
Yeah, it
passage
was
of the
a
millage.
community effort.
Yeah, and that's what it takes.
But no huge controversies or anything developed in the city of Jackson while we were gone?
Bill, there's been so many, I can't even list them.
Okay. All right.
Lot of stuff. But nothing, I would say nothing
Earth-shattering.
earth-shattering.
Well, I see the candidates are out, we've
Yeah.
got our candidates now
Right.
running for the race. Although
You're not running, right?
I'm not up for re-election.
Right.
I'm sure to a few people.
So you have 2 more
dismay.
years?
I have, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be in the next 2-year cycle, yeah.
Okay.
Got some great ideas. My mind is flowing again.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. People are worried. Energized, ready to go. Got some properties listed while we were gone, quite a few. And so Jackie did a great job in my
Do you want to list them here?
900 West Michigan Avenue. That's listed for $99,900. You know, that's one of the original houses on Michigan Avenue.
No, 902 is 99.9.
I'm sorry, 902 is one of the original houses on Michigan Avenue. It's an interesting house. I don't think it started with heat in it type of house. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a very cool. It's got a lot of history there. And then 902 was
900.
I'm sorry, 900 West Michigan Avenue was the Lehman Mansion, who was L.H. Fields. And that's another, you know, unless you're paying attention, you don't even see that house. And that property runs all the way from Michigan Avenue to Norfolk. It's a total of 4 large lots, but, you know, you can buy those houses singularly or as a package.
Are you taking calls?
Sure.
Good morning.
Good morning, I have a question. My name is Hiram Duarte, and I want to know what the Economist said about Obama.
You're trying to get me divorced, aren't you?
I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
You're not going to hear it because it's not appropriate for this show. We're not a political show. It's completely apolitical. We accept all views. It's to be informative and not opinionated. So, yeah, there was an interesting conversation with Mr. Bloom, and he was a very erudite, intelligent individual.
I'm gonna call him.
Yeah, just based on the numbers, he gave us opinion.
Do that. Good luck getting in a word in class.
Hey, thanks, Bill.
Okay, guys.
We'll see you. And you'll be back next week, probably.
I will
Probably.
be. Yeah, I think I'll be here the rest of the year. It looks like I won't be here on July 27th or 25th. Is that when you guys are doing your live auction?
I don't know. Probably.
Some Thursday. So I get that Thursday off. But other than that, I'm here.
So if you want to list a house, call Laura.
Yeah, we still have a huge shortage of properties, and it's the house I have at 511 West Washington, an amazing 2-story, beautiful English type home. It's got an English garden. You go in off an alley, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 72.5, and that one's getting a ton of activity. In fact, I'm expecting and hoping an offer comes in here. So people are getting houses on the market and they're getting sold. So if you're even considering it, let me come out, talk to you, give you an evaluation, and you can make an informed decision.
And the hotline is?
780-3800, or you can go to the website, thinkingrealestate.com. You can email me at laura@780-3800.com. You can call me, same number. See how it all rolls together.
Wow, it's amazing.
Just remember 780-3800, and you can either add .com after it, or you can add my name in front of it for my email, or you can dial it on your telephone.
Hey, we even had a Mark Myers sighting last
I know,
week.
I heard about
Wow.
that. That was kind of a breath of fresh air, wasn't it?
Kind of. We'll see you next week.
Okay, ciao.